as a team. If you call Scrum, you call yourself as a Scrum team member, right? What that means is the developer should be able to do testing, and tester should be able to help the developers, maybe write code, whatever. You've got to be flexible, right? So flexible, agility is all about flexibility, right? So what is the challenge here? Right? So agile testing, very much like any other, whether it's development or whatever it is, you need to focus on getting things quickly, right? Doing things lightly, right? Not documentation, not rigid processes. And you should start as early as possible, right? Testing doesn't need to wait until the development is complete, right? How many times we have seen this not working at all? Developers write and they take they're supposed to finish it in 8 months, they eat up, 12 months, right? And testing, when it comes to testing, people say, you know what, I need to deliver this very fast. Customers are expecting this. How long do you need? Oh, probably 2 months. No, sorry, I don't have 2 months. I got only 1 month. Can you do it? Testing has to sacrifice because it's sandwiched between development and delivery. Development takes all the time, so you don't end up, having enough time for you to test the application properly, right? It requires a combination of manual and automated testing approach. Right, manual testing works very well with waterfall, right? But in agile testing, it's all about quickness. You can't do a regression testing manually, right? And you just think about doing the same thing over and over again as you go with multiple iterations. You have to test what worked in the previous iteration was well. That's regression testing, right? Probably in the first iteration you just came up with a login screen. In the second iteration you added another functionality. In the third iteration you added a few more features. Now when you are in this third iteration, when you test this, you've got to make sure that what worked in the first iteration, the login screen, still works, right? And imagine yourself as a tester, clicking this login button many times, right? With all the different testing techniques, boundary value analysis, exploratory testing, negative testing, right? How many times you click that button? Are you really satisfied with the job? No. I will let the machine work for me, right? It doesn't get tired. It doesn't get bored, clicking that over and over again, right? So it's all about, doing things quickly, effectively. So automation is a way to do in agile testing. And it's performed at multiple levels, right? So somebody asked me, unit testing, is it considered part of testing? Yes, right? In waterfall approach, unit testing, that's a developer's job. I'm QA. I don't do that, right? You go talk to the developers. I don't know whether they do unit testing. I'm glad that you do unit testing, right? Not many teams do unit testing, right? Or enough testing, unit testing. So here, you're going to do unit testing. Even if you're a tester, you need to know how to do unit testing. You need to run unit testing. That's your job, right? You need to do integration testing, right? Acceptance testing. All this have to be performed. Both functional as well as non-functional have to be performed. But they are performed at different times, different ways, slightly different from the traditional testing. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, right? So what is the challenge? It's again a mindset. We cannot come out of the waterfall approach. We are so used to the waterfall approach, right? We want to follow the phase approach, right? How can I test even before my application is not completed, right? How can I test this? It's going to be crazy, right? That's the mindset. But we know. We have been talking this, over I still remember even 6-7 years when I started with testing, all the gurus used to say you got to start testing as early as possible. Right? Why? You saw this chart. Testing a defect that's found early in the life cycle is very cheap, it's very quick to fix rather than letting the defect be identified.